The deal of the century. In case you forgot, Donald Trump and his team of US advisors have solved the decades-old conflict in the Middle East, and there will now be peace throughout the region. Israel is happy, the Palestinians are happy, it is an incredible accomplishment. The only problem is Trump's plan didn't really work. Instead of bringing peace, the entire Palestinian leadership rejected it, and most Israelis aren't even in favor of Trump's plan. In all likelihood, Trump's plan will never solve anything. Now, it wasn't all bad. Trump's deal of the century was based off the idea that if you give the Palestinians money, build up their infrastructure, build them homes, cities, and improve their lives, they will want peace in order to secure that which they have already achieved. Trump's plan was built off the idea that in the end of the day, most Palestinians don't care about politics, they don't care about Jerusalem or even the right of return, they just want to live successful lives where they can raise their children in prosperity. I actually believe that all of this is 100% correct, but politics will get in the way of any of this being signed or agreed upon. But don't worry, because I have the solution. Yes, Yosef Grauer, grade 9 student at Orchaim, has the solution to the decades-old conflict in the Middle East. No, I don't work for the White House, and I did not spend the past 3 years writing a long document that was immediately rejected. In fact, I don't have any documents, and there's nothing that needs to be written down at all. But yet, I have an idea that will solve the conflict forever. What is this groundbreaking idea that will solve the decades-old conflict in the Middle East forever? It is very simple. A non-political representative group of Israelis and Palestinians should get together and submit a joint bid to host the 2032 Summer Olympic Games in Yehuda v'Shomron, otherwise known as the West Bank. It sounds crazy, right? Well, let me explain. Every 4 years, a new country hosts the Summer Olympics. Tokyo was set to host the Olympics in 2020, Paris in 2024, Los Angeles, California in 2028, and I want to put forward a joint bid by a group of Israelis and Palestinians to host the 2032 Summer Olympics. Typically, there is stiff competition amongst many nations to host the Olympics. But when the world finds out that the Israelis and Palestinians are working together to host the Olympics, the world will be embarrassed and ashamed to go up against them, that their bid will go unopposed. You might still be thinking, this is the most ridiculous thing you have ever heard. How could the Israelis and Palestinians host the Summer Olympics in the West Bank? They have no infrastructure built up there. Well, let me tell you what it takes to host the Olympics. They will need to build an entire Olympic village. They will need to build stadiums, swimming pools, hotels, roads, and homes. It sounds crazy. Well, yes and no. Once the world finds out that the Israelis and Palestinians are working together to host the Olympics, the world will help pay for it. The US and Saudi Arabia will give money. Dubai and the United Arab Emirates have already pledged billions to help the Palestinians, and this is how the money could be spent. Think of the number of jobs that will be given to Palestinians who are currently out of work. Think of the collaboration and partnership that will be needed between Israelis and Palestinians to get this off the ground. And the best part is, all this will be done with no discussion of borders, without mentioning Jerusalem, and without even thinking about the right of return. Instead, they will be working peacefully together, learning how to live together. How do we know that they will actually collaborate and be excited about this idea? It is very simple. Everyone loves sports. Sports will bring them together. Israel won't be the host nation, Palestine won't be the host nation, they will host it together. They will spend the next 12 years building, planning, and working together, and when it is all over, they will have tons of land that is built up. They will have cities, hotels, sports complexes, and they have spent over a decade working peacefully with their Israeli neighbors towards a common goal. I know this sounds crazy, but if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. This may not be the deal of the century, but this deal might actually work.